History flows like a river. Tell us what happened today in history.
A particularly intense tornado hits Sherman, Texas, on this day in 1896, and kills 73 people. It is estimated that the tornado was a rare F5 tornado, in which winds exceeded 260 miles per hour. Storms of that strength happen, on average, less than once a year. The strength of tornadoes is measured on the Fujita scale, named after University of Chicago physicist Tetsuya Theodore Fujita. He was the first scientist to devote extensive study to tornadoes and how they operate. He discovered that the average tornado is 150 feet wide, travels 1 mile moving 40 miles per hour in a northeasterly direction and tends to pick up strength the longer it lasts. Fujita found that only 30% of twisters reach winds above 112 miles per hour. The strongest tornadoes, ones that cause complete destruction on the ground, even to steel-reinforced structures, are designated as F5 on the scale designed by Fujita and only occur in North America. There were 94 recorded F5 tornadoes in the 20th century. The tornado that hit Sherman on May 15 is considered an F5 because of the complete and utter destruction it caused. Most of the homes it demolished were totally razed. There was hardly a trace left of them when the twister passed. The Houston Street Bridge in Sherman was smashed and brought down by the tornado. The trunk lid from a car in Sherman ended up 35 miles away. 60 people, including whole families, perished in the town that day. May 15, 1905, known as the entertainment capital of the world, the City of Evil, the Casino of Las Vegas, was officially established. Las Vegas is the largest city in the state of WADA in the United States. It is famous for its huge tourism, shopping and vacation industries centered on gambling. Las Vegas is one of the world's famous holiday resorts. From a giant playground to a truly flesh and blood, living city, Las Vegas has been transformed in 10 years. Of the 38.9 million tourists who come to Las Vegas every year, the majority come to shop and enjoy delicious food, while the minority come to gamble exclusively. Nevada, once satirized as a city of evil, has matured into a real city. Las Vegas was founded in 1905. In the 1930s, Nevada decided to make gambling a legitimate business. Almost overnight, casinos in urban areas were set up, and Charleston Entertainment Zone and Dead Valley National Expo were representative. The name of Las Vegas's Casino City has also spread. 250 casinos and more than 60,000 horn-eating tigers are open day and night. Their style is comparable to that of Monte Carlo, the world's casino in Monaco, Europe. Now Las Vegas has the world's top resort hotels, and the world's first-class large-scale performance and high-tech entertainment facilities. Today, 87 years ago, May 15, 1932, April 10, 1932, was the May 15th coup in Japan. On May 15, 1932, Japanese Navy junior fascist officers launched an armed coup, known as the May 15th Incident. Around 1930, Japan's economic crisis became more and more serious and its society was in turmoil. The military ministry and the civil fascists colluded with each other, flaunting the transformation of the country and accelerating fascisation by means of terror. In February 1932, civil fascist organizations, such as Guhi Chingzi, Yishang Nakamura and Aishyankan headed by Sanlang Orange, formulated coup plans, plotting to attack the Prime Minister's residence, the Minister's residence, the headquarters of the Friends Association and Mitsubishi Bank by 4 routes, then occupy the police station, destroy the substation and establish a fascist dictatorship in the dark. On May 15, action was taken to kill Prime Minister Ken Yangyi. Most of the other targets were not met. After the coup failed, the leader surrendered himself to the gendarmerie and was only punished lightly. The press's extensive coverage of his defense statements in the military courts has fueled the fascists' flames. After the collapse of the Kendall cabinet, the short-term party politics ended, and the military took the opportunity to step up its intervention in politics and speed up the pace of fascism. More than 8 years after they intervened in Afghanistan to support the pro-communist government, Soviet troops begin their withdrawal. The event marked the beginning of the end to a long, bloody, and fruitless Soviet occupation of Afghanistan. In December 1979, Soviet troops first entered Afghanistan in an attempt to bolster the communist, pro-Soviet government threatened by internal rebellion. In a short period of time, thousands of Russian troops and support materials poured into Afghanistan. Thus began a frustrating military conflict with Afghan Muslim rebels, who despised their own nation's communist government and the Soviet troops supporting it. During the next 8 years, the two sides battled for control in Afghanistan, with neither the Soviets nor the rebels ever able to gain a decisive victory. For the Soviet Union, the intervention proved extraordinarily costly in a number of ways. While the Soviets never released official casualty figures for the war in Afghanistan, U.S. intelligence sources estimated that as many as 15,000 Russian troops died in Afghanistan, and the economic cost to the already struggling Soviet economy ran into billions of dollars. The intervention also strained relations between the Soviet Union and the United States nearly to the breaking point. President Jimmy Carter harshly criticized the Russian action, stalled talks on arms limitations, issued economic sanctions, and even ordered a boycott of the 1980 Olympics held in Moscow. By 1988, the Soviets decided to extricate itself from the situation. Russian leader Mikhail Gorbachev saw the Afghan intervention as an increasing drain on the Soviet economy, and the Russian people were tired of a war that many Westerners referred to as Russia's Vietnam. For Afghanistan, the Soviet withdrawal did not mean an end to the fighting, however. The Muslim rebels eventually succeeded in establishing control over Afghanistan in 1992. On May 15, 1998, the G8 summit opened in Birmingham, UK, closing on May 17. The final communiqué issued at the end of the meeting held that the growing trend of economic globalization has deepened the interdependence among countries. While promoting the process of globalization, we should ensure that the quality of life of people all over the world is improved. The meeting focused on three major challenges facing the world as it entered the 21st century, namely, protecting the environment and promoting good management while achieving sustainable economic growth, increasing employment, and combating drugs and transnational crime. According to the communiqué, the basic state of the world economy is still good, but since last year, it has been temporarily affected by the Asian financial crisis. The communiqué reiterates its strong support for efforts to rebuild economic stability and restore growth in the Asian region, and supports the key role played by international financial institutions. The communiqué believes that the successful recovery of the Asian economy will bring important benefits to the participating member countries. Regarding the issue of debt relief for heavily indebted poor countries, the communiqué encourages eligible countries to participate as soon as possible and hopes that all eligible countries will join the process in 2000 to seek a permanent solution to the debt problem. The communiqué also indicated that it would continue to cooperate in efforts to prevent the production of weapons of mass destruction and control their export. At a press conference held today after the closing of the G8 summit, the current chairman of the G8 and British Prime Minister Tony Blair praised the firm commitment of the Chinese government to the non-devaluation of the RMB as a contribution to alleviating the Asian financial crisis, and congratulated China on its prudent and correct fiscal and monetary policies and its steady economic growth. At a press conference, French President Jacques Chirac also spoke highly of a series of measures taken by China after the outbreak of the Asian financial crisis. He said that if China did not take such a stand, the Asian financial crisis would have a disastrous impact on the world economy. Chirac also said that the G8 countries should express deep appreciation for China's responsible attitude, because China's approach will pay a huge price.